YouTube! I'm Unca Crunk, just your standard issue purple monster of a certain age who plays games on the internet. Today, we are continuing the weekend courtroom drama with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Chronicles is a duology of games, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures released in 2015 and the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve released in 2017, both originally for the 3DS. With the limited research I did into the games, due to my persistent fear of spoilers, it would seem that we are portraying a 19th century Japanese defense attorney who travels to Victorian England to get some practical experience. And now, with no further ado, let's begin the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Gang, you gang. Go, enemy.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide. But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Bienvenue au la Carnival. The Great Departure. The Adventure of the Great Departure. 22nd November, 8:43 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, Antechamber 5. Okay, that sound effect's going to get on my nerves throughout this entire game. I still can't believe it. Still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh, nothing. Savvy Glass, murderer. Sorry. So the guy with the gun in the anime was, our protagonist? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Oh my goodness. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am awaiting my trial. That's enough. Oh, wait, that would somebody else. And who are you? He's not obliged to listen to such abuse, officer. Who are you? I'm this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes. And until the judge has given the verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Just technicalities. Look at you, you haven't even graduated yet. And yet I still seem to know better than you how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Yeah, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say you've been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up, hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Kazumi Asogi, my best friend, also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I, star student in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. It's not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old, here in Japan anyway. My qualifications don't mean much, yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma! Looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud, as your friend. There's not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. Oh, I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'd have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Oh, if only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. All right, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. Okay. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Asogi, may I have a word? Oh, hello. Completely the wrong voice. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Asogi, you should go immediately to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. All right then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma. This is awkward. If I may? Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe. That's right. My name is Eugen Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma's studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know.
Know what?
Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again.
What?
As I suspected, you were unaware of this. I had a feeling Asogi may have chosen not to tell you.
He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered? I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing?
The administration has to choose from a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Sorry? What do you mean? Oh my god, not an updated autopsy report. Oh no!
You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction.
Right, so...
As soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do.
I do? But what will the question be? Surely not... Do you accept the accusations brought before you?
Of course not.
Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So, allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours.
What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving! There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. This is it. If this trial goes badly, Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embarked on that unforgettable trial. So what, I'm supposed to defend myself? My one and only chance of proving my innocence, the trial that would decide my destiny. I mean, that's what he made it sound like. 22nd November, 9 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 2. So this is a courtroom. The Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? Trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time, but for now, You need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin.
I promise I will get his name right at some point. Oh my god, it's scant. What? Crap, I can't remember his name.
The court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As is the defense. Before we begin, there's one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Normal procedure is for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
God, this is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do, I need to answer quickly. What should I do?
Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear. The hell are you doing?
What I'm told.
What is the meaning of this unruly outburst?
I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself.
You'll be what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke?
Professor Mikotoba told me everything, not just now, before the trial.
He did what?
He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose.
How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off?
No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you...
Yes.
Oh, I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry.
I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikotoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel? Really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san?
Yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. Not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank.
I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetrated a most heinous crime indeed.
Have you not read the accusation brief?
I didn't need to.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected of all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo?
Yes, Your Excellency.
is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken.
My competence? What does that mean?
He's questioning your ability to do the job.
Rightfully so. Well, you can't be questioning it more than I am.
So let's start with the very simplest of questions.
Yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But, wait. So nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again?
Ryunosuke? Let me guess. Your mind's gone blank?
You know me so well.
All the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record.
But I can't even find that.
It's simple. You can access the court record with a press of RB. If you ever find you've forgotten something, just consult that. It's all in there.
I just have to press RB for the court record? All right, there's no time to lose. A university collar pin, proof that I'm a student at the Imperial Yume University. I always wear it on the collar of my uniform jacket.
This is the list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with RB.
Kazuma Sogi, 23, a second year at the Imperial Yume University. He's my best friend and, despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well.
You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back.
Okay.
Yujin Mikotoba, 42, a medical school professor at the Imperial Yume University. He's an authority in forensic medicine and Kazuma's mentor.
He did it. He's the killer. Takatsuchi Aochi. Aochi?
51.
Pain! That was his name. Pain! So they got it from Aochi.
The lead prosecutor of this case, who would appear to have little love for the changes the Cultural Reformation has brought about.
John H. Wilson, 47. The victim of this case. He was a visiting professor of medicine at Yume University from the British Empire. Okay.
So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record.
Oh, wait, there was something else I want to look at. Okay, the post-mortem report. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Okay.
Now, you'd better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press Y to present. Try it now.
Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? They didn't do it.
This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes a speedy resolution to this matter. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities, is that it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict someone as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man in university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still. I should go and say hello. So I went over to the professor's table and introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. And it was just as awkward as you might have thought it would have been. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. Cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, Ryunosuke? Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. By evidence, but how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. Do it now. Oh, okay.
Yes!
Well, according to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. You can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range. Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Okay, a photographic print that shows the victim. He was shot from the front in the chest and subsequently died. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail is incredible. Very well. I am satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of their case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness who was there at the scene of the crime as it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind.
Yeah, he knows that I am completely unqualified for the job, so in defending myself, I will get convicted and he'll get away with murder. I mean, the professor, you mean Dr. Miko Taba?
Yes, clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I can still act as your assistant.
Oh, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Osogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial.
He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he?
Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, Kazuma.
Well, my first piece of advice is rein in that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats.
Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Oh, hello. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru. Of course. My name is Satoru Usonaga. I am the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called La Carnival.
Oh dear. Are you all right? You seem to be coughing up some, He's been poisoned.
It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really should. As everyone knows, the capital southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago.
Understood. Usunaga-san, you will kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident. At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring?
It was just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at that time of day. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied.
That fits in with my memory of it, too. There's hardly anyone else in the place.
It was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes! Hold on, let me clarify something here. While I did pick up a gun that I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what he saw, you amateur.
The next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you will be penalized, Defendant Naruhodo. Don't worry, Ryunosuke. You will have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness.
If I may confirm 1 point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around that table but the deceased Englishman and the university student.
Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around that table.
What's the matter, Ryunosuke?
That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at his table.
Really?
And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do?
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? But I'm sure of what I saw.
Kusunaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of the events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone.
I don't believe it.
I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone.
Why does a waiter have a business card?
Well, you're clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well... Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are.
What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something certainly seems to have shaken him. Okay, waiter's business card has been entered into the court record. I'm going to want to look at the other side of that. So, the court has now heard a priestess of the case.
Yes, at the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant. The only person in close proximity to the victim was the defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I call this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you're determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. You just said nobody was there. Well, at the table. What do you think I should do, Kazuma?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm going to be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual about these
peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotoba said it, and so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. And yet, despite knowing that, you're willing now to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Oh, I made you sad again. What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just going to abandon that duty? Are you going to give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see just how decisive this evidence really is. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi, please continue with proceedings. Well, you were warned. The young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to be. Ladies. There are no ladies in the gallery. Only government officials, all male. Oh, well, yeah, whatever. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. The prosecution calls its next witnesses. Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Witnesses, kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant Iyasa Nosa reported for duty, sir. I solely find employers a purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the efflorescence of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Matsute, a humble premises in the 2nd District, Rio Korakota at your service. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. They must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea of the most exquisite aroma of the establishment in question, always postnum. And not infrequently, converse with interested parties regarding the curios with which I make my business. I can't understand a word that old man's saying. He's an antique dealer. It sounds like he's a regular at La Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets La Carnival because it's a high-class restaurant with a rich clientele. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this most atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative! The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming that he actually saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead.
Yes.
Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable?
If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start.
Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment that the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir. Standing by, ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon. Witness testimony.
What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man to my left.
So, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back, the cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of the mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Did I hear an infant squeak during that testimony? Hard to tell because I'm a little loud. Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. All affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. That cruel and unforgivable enemy.
Oh, what times we live in. When an English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke?
Yes! All I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. Like an idiot. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then, when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant when I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. Oh, so it hadn't been fired yet. Or rather, the victim hadn't been shot yet. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang!
Well, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was.
There is.
Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses.
Cross-examine?
Do it now.
As we have heard, Your Excellency, there is no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. It is time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestige of doubt. Therefore, it's my grave duty to Excuse me? Did you just interrupt my verdict? What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst?
I mean the defense. Demands its right to a cross-examination.
You what?
Dear me. Let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told me to do it, huh, pathetic? Oh, how do you know? The prosecution objects! This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How can he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is asserting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant.
Kazuma is so commanding. And hot.
Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses.
All right, this is where the battle really begins, Ryunosuke. I don't even know what I have to do in a cross-examination.
Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witnesses' statements. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means what that soldier said has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And the key to doing that is evidence.
Right, evidence.
All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you.
All right, then. It's all or nothing. Cross-examination, start.
But first, examine. Can I? Okay, that doesn't help me at all. Yeah. Okay, I was hoping I could look at the front of the card. Well, that doesn't do it. Oh well. Maybe later. I was in Jensen, a regulation beefsteak, at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Yes!
Why aren't you saying anything? Is this some new form of interrogation technique?
I hadn't actually thought of what I wanted to ask.
Just ask about anything that catches your attention. Anything that bothers you.
All right, then, this beefsteak you mentioned, what kind of food is that?
Dan Sean!
Beefsteak is a delicious cut of veal vigorously cooked on a cast iron grill and served piping hot. Ow. If food could receive medals of honor, beefsteak would be almost as highly decorated as the cutlet. Oh, right, I see. Thank you, sir. So, next question. This cutlet you mentioned, what kind of food is that? What are you, some kind of pinko vegetarian or something? Cutlet is a delicious cut of veal tossed in breadcrumbs with deep fried in cooking oil. Except you're guilty of atone for your crimes, and when you're released from prison, try it. Yes, sir, I will, sir. On the double, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, but how about trying to stick to questions that are relevant to the case?
Sorry. I'll do my best. So, next question. Is it just me, or do you keep hearing a sort of wah crying out? Negative!
Well, at least we've learned that he's a big beef lover. Affirmative.
It's not easy knowing what questions to ask. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman over there.
Yes!
I have no idea what you're talking about. A Coben, boy.
Coben? You mean an old Edo coin?
The day prior to the incident, a treasure of exceptional value from the Hoey period entered my possession. I took myself to the restaurant the following day with said item secreted in my bosom pocket.
Your what pocket?
Bosom. Right here, boy. Bosom. Bosoms. You goddamn bosom too, don't you, boy? You
mean chest?
Yes, you darn fool kid. And I hope an affluent cognizant appraised of its indisputable value in present.
So you were hoping to sell your Coben coin to Sergeant Nosa, who you met at the restaurant.
Yes, it's quite clear where you're going with this, boy. You're about to assert that a penniless soldier would have no hope of purchasing a precious Coven. Isn't that so?
Well.
You little upstart cadet. You want to add disrespect on a superior officer to your list of crimes, do you? Blatant subordination.
And then, no, I didn't say anything. I think you mean insubordination. Although penniless might be just the word I was looking for.
In any case, I was already advanced beyond that of the midday luncheon. There remained precious few present with whom I could engage in discourse about matters of business. The gentleman beside me, who was grappling with his breeze veal at the time, was my sole prospect.
I see.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes.
Yes!
So, you're saying that you actually saw me at that time?
Affirmative, I saw you. Laughing, cackling like a madman as you trained the barrel of your gun on the English civilian.
That's impossible. I only... Allow me to confirm just one point, please.
What's that, Private?
Thinking carefully about the statement you just made, it seems to me that it must have been just after you heard the gunshot that you looked over to the victim's table.
And so what if it was?
Well, if that really is the case, it would mean that you didn't, in fact, see the precise moment when the killer actually fired the gun.
Ah! You and your damn facts, boy. And double I. My sixth sense.
Sorry.
My sixth sense of danger. I picked up the waves of murderous energy radiating from your foul mind. Which means, a split second before you pulled the trigger, I was looking right at you, cadet.
Surely that's not really possible, is it?
Do you think I'd have got where I am today in the Army if I could sense danger in the air, son?
Well, it would seem this soldier is absolutely convinced that he saw you do the deed. This is not good.
The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian and from the back the cowardly little weasel.
Yes!
So this black uniformed university cadet, you're saying that was...
I've had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in black uniform, huh?
Well, there's someone standing right next to me who fits that description as well, but...
It was you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back. And you call yourself a citizen of the great empire and Nippon. You disgust me.
Well, that's not right. What is it, Ryunosuke?
I'm not quite sure.
It's something that the sergeant just said, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Something playing on my mind.
like a photograph. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence you've gathered in the court record. If you find an inconsistency there with what the witness just said, then don't hold back. Present the evidence to the court. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of their mysteriously absconded precious curio.
Yes!
You mean you dropped your coin? On your hands and knees, could you explain that, please? That's right. Spurning the arthritis I was in order to retrieve the lost piece. What lost piece are you referring to? A Coben, of course! Exquisite Warrior Coben coin! I've just been showing the rare treasure to the military man as he masticated his meal. After averting my eyes for the briefest of moments, it was there no more, it simply vanished. The Coben vanished? Hence, I began to acquaint myself with the intricacies of the floor in order to locate it, and then it happened. So the military man is a liar and a thief. You heard the gunshot, you mean? None other than that, though it is no concern of mine. I was frantically scouring the floor for the aforementioned lost treasure. So, in fact, you didn't actually witness the precise moment when the incident occurred. Indeed. Myself, I did not. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. I have an idea. Listen, Ryunosuke. We know there are lies lurking in these statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is, how? Like I said before, the key to this is using evidence that you've collected. You can examine and present evidence while a witness is giving testimony by pressing RB. Go through each witness statement and the details about each piece of evidence and compare all the facts. Somewhere in there, you'll find something that doesn't add up. In other words, an inconsistency. An inconsistency. When you find a statement and a piece of evidence that seem to contradict each other, present your evidence with why and rip the witness apart. Just be careful, because if you assert a contradiction that has no basis, you'll be given a penalty. If you're dealt too many penalties, the defense's case will fall apart and you'll receive a guilty verdict. So that's it. Peruse the evidence in the court record and find an inconsistency with a witness's statement. All right, I'll give it a try. You can hear the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. Okay. Let's see. Okay, from the back. Gunshot to the chest. The bullet did not pass through the victim's body. That's actually probably what I want to present. Okay, it could be either, actually. One probably leads to the next.
Yes!
Huh? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache? And inconsistency, sir. Yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. Couldn't be more plain. Oh my God, he's doing the Edgeworth thing. He's doing the Edgeworth thing. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at the photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. What? Sergeant Ayesa Nosa. Oh, Ayesa Nosa. Yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, what's up? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian and from the back the cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir, affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not, cadet? Because. Take a close look at the print. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. And that is the obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Get back down there, boy. What the? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it back down again. Okay, he's not a thief. The baby stole the coin because it was shiny. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious little carnival steak, sir. What? The last testimony the court heard has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Ayesa Nosa, did not see the defiant firing a gun at all. No, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there. He was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either. I've already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Oh yes, you were looking for your Colbin coin, were you? Indeed! Prize Hoyer Colbin. Pulling around under the table I was, in case may have it fallen there. That happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my scoundreled or treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
A lamentable day. The precious Hoy Colbin was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself.
As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels it must be to the British, it would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, Prosecutor Algie?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger at the front gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. I'm the wolf. My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant Ryonosuke Naruhodo. What?
He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he?
Ah.
Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again.
In the next episode, to the outro.
Okay, so obviously, Ouchie is Gaspin Payne's ancestor. I may be reaching an error, and it's entirely because of that little gesture, but is Kazuma Edgeworth's ancestor? I'm already pretty sure Ryonosuke is the Phoenix's ancestor, even though he looks more like Apollo than he does Phoenix, but anyway. As for the actual case, now that we know about the victim's dining companion, maybe the professor isn't guilty after all? She could absolutely be the killer, but still, it's more than a little suspicious that he wanted Ryu to defend himself. Either he thinks we're guilty, or he wants to foist the blame onto us. Anywho, up here's a playlist of my Persona 5 Royal playthrough, and down here's a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!